Hill Towers.
This is one of a dozen sites being set up across the island where citizens are signing up to participate in the experiment. They are also being psychologically evaluated here to determine their mental status before they purge, and they will be evaluated again after the experiment if they survive to see how they were affected by the night that is being described as a societal catharsis.
Where we are on 6th Avenue at the beginning of the parade, it is over for us, but we had such a great time tonight. The energy was electric, and you could tell people were just really shaking off the negativity and expressing themselves.
I love Halloween because it is an opportunity for people who aren't normally artists to experience what it is to be an artist.
From the traditional to the unconventional, the creepy to the creative, the costumes, puppets, and floats at the 49th Annual Village Parade are elaborate. How much, time?
6 hours. I started at 11 o'clock.
So why do they do it? The planning, the prep, walking the 1.4-mile parade.
You forget who you are, you forget about time, and you enter into a different sphere of being.
And the sphere is spooky.
Everyone's gone.
Oh, how embarrassing. Oh, we slept right through church.
It's not the end of the world.
This is gonna be the best Halloween party I've ever thrown.
Well, you always throw a good party, Ralph, and then the demons crash it.
Not this time. That's why it's gonna be the best. Bag and the other demons will never figure out where the party is.
It's not hard to find your house, Ralph.
Who said anything about my house? Where is the least likely place for me to have my party?
At Bag's house.
Where, Ralph? At the old Simpson house.
Are you crazy? That place is haunted.
Why are we here?
I told Ralph I'd check this place out for the Halloween party.
Everyone knows about old Magnolia Simpson. Ever since she lost her head, anyone who goes in there gets theirs chopped off, too.
That's just a story. Oh, nothing. It's good. It's a good place for a party.
You look like Bela Lugosi sucked all the blood out of me.
Oh, I do not. Come on, let's go.
Am I gonna drive?
Will you quit fooling around? We gotta get home. I'm hungry.
You're gonna have a tough time eating with your heart in your mouth.
Ha ha ha, Joni. Ha ha ha. Very funny. You know, you ought to quit fooling around with that Phyllis, what's her name?
Boyer.
Yeah, right. Reporters in a haunted house.
Oh no, it's the apocalypse!
They're all covered with filthy germs, aren't they, Smithers?
Why, what do you mean, sir?
Freemasons run the country!
Not only this country, but the entire world.
What? Are you wearing clean underwear?
Not anymore. It's the rapture, and I never knew true love.
I never used those pizza coupons.
Why aren't we ascending into heaven? Oh, right. The sins.
What? Oh.
Where do you think you're going, Missy?
Dad!
Ooh, I smell barbecue! Hey, look! Ah! Oh, they're on the hot dogs! And the coleslaw has pineapple in it!
What happened to the lights?
Maybe it's the headless ghost.
Oh.
No, it's just Ralph. Turn the lights back on, Ralph.
What's that? I'm afraid.
Ralph, will you quit playing around with the chains? Come on out. We know you're in there.
Julian Huxley once wrote that the basic elements in cultural transmission and transformation are psychological. This is how we change. Since time immemorial, high rituals have been performed to transform reality. Ritual, a spiritual psychodrama of conscious, deliberate actions taken to facilitate change. Changes to the whole of the environment people exist in, starting with the mental landscape of the people themselves, the place where our reality is first born a dream. Artist Sharon Devlin once bluntly described the true purpose of ritual as being a method to alter one's mind. It's a sacred drama in which you are the audience as well as the participant, and the purpose of it is to activate parts of the mind that are not activated by everyday activity, she said. The mechanics of change through mechanism, a rhythm to sync to, merge and flow with, a magnetic draw drawing one down the path toward transmutation. Rituals are vehicles driving home those ideas. The information, the data, the symbols.
Chinese President Xi Jinping is now wrapped up his three-day meeting with Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin by pledging to shape a new world order.
Yeah, and listen to this language. Xi told Putin that they are driving changes not seen in a century.
Which, upon transmission, create the language by which new society members communicate after they are initiated. This new language imparts a new understanding through definitions the ritual generates, meaning pegged to signposts of its own self-referential process, even if the original purpose gets lost in the repetition of action.
This weekend, the Pontiff was mobbed by a group of starstruck nuns. The nuns normally don't even leave their convent. Well, when one of them presented the Pope with a gift, they all swarmed him. So the stunned Archbishop of Naples joked, quote, "They are going to eat him." That's sweet. They're excited. This is a big deal.
A ritual initiation introduces and inducts one into the way, a new way of life or worldview. A program to guide beliefs and actions, enabling the initiate to become a full and true member of the new society. Note that ritual is not always a conscious action. Not everyone partaking in a ritual is always made explicitly aware that they are participants.
Hey, Rich, you're a real drag, you know that? You're ruining the party.
I wish we had something that'd scare the pants off him. Pots? We do. The bird? No. Closet. It's all set.
Oh, great.
Quit with this. Rich, you want to get some more root beer?
Yeah, sure. Where is it?
In the closet.
Oh, well, why don't you guys do it? I'm busy.
Come on, we put up all the decorations and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, Richie. I'm kind of thirsty.
Yeah, but you see, that's the closet. All right, sure.
Of nothing. I got you that time. It's just an old dress dummy I found in there.
Oh, yeah, very funny, Val.
And yet still, new patterns of thought, of significance, are drummed in, conscious or not.
Ladies and gentlemen, this commercial is going to use subliminal advertising.
An initiation ritual typically involves 3 stages. See if any of this sounds familiar to you.
Because this is going to be transformative.
First, isolation for purification. The initiate is separated from the mundane. Did you know mundane means of the world?
Your school has been canceled, social events have been postponed.
The initiate is largely removed from the otherwise familiar persons, places, and things one is used to, in order to be cleared of them.
Stay home, protect yourselves, protect our system. Stay home. Everyone must stay at home. We have to stay home because if we don't, stay home, stay safe.
Detached and insulated. Purged. Purified.
An extraordinary time when we have to stay home. We have to stay physically distant from the ones we love. How we can change our day-to-day life to avoid direct face-to-face contact. Try and keep yourself away from people as much as possible.
An essential element of this separation from one's typical environment is the suspension of the normal rules of living that one is used to. The normal way.
Normality, as it was before, will not come back.
Much of the initiate's senses will be commanded and regulated at this time. In other words, the majority of what the initiate sees, hears, smells, touches, and tastes, if directly related, is deliberately controlled. These senses may be bombarded, modified, limited, or deprived. But regardless, perceptions and experiences are ultimately overseen by the high priests and priestesses directing the ritual's performance.
Where's my hand? I want my hand.
Oh, come on, Ralph.
It's the curse of the Simpsons. Don't give me
Magnolia Simpson.
I'll chop off yours.
Ralph, this is not a funny joke.
What joke? Are these the bulging eyes of a joker? A cross. Does anyone have a cross? You dummy, that only works on vampires.
It's phony.
I've got to
It's not
find
real.
a hand.
It's phony. It's phony. It's not real.
Hi, guys. Oh, it's only bagging the demon.
Oh, it's only bagging the demons. You were shaking so much, you looked like a bowl of Jell-O. The only one who wasn't chicken was Cunningham.
All right, Bag, you and the demons can join the party. As usual. Let's dance.
Sure, what's a Halloween party without some demons?
Enabling new light to shine through a newly opened window of thought.
Every generation has a higher purpose. Ours is to stay home.
With nowhere else to go except where allowed, the insulated, isolated initiate may be forced to confront his or her own reflection, and inner shadows that have been ignored or buried somewhere deep beneath the average day-to-day suddenly become unavoidable. Triggers detonated. Another purge.
Brave citizen of Staten Island, thank you for your participation in this groundbreaking experiment. You are one of the pioneers. In 1 week, you will make history. As part of a program that could change our nation forever, you will be among the first Americans to purge. The experiment will commence with the sound of this alarm. For the next 12 hours, all crime within the Staten Island borders will be legal, and all emergency services will be suspended. Weapons of Class 4 and lower are authorized for use. All other weapons are restricted. You can purge as an individual or as a group for whatever reason you choose.
It's all a secret. It's just one of the creatures that live in my mind.
The main objectives in the minds of thousands on 6th Avenue in Greenwich Village is to have fun.
It's New York's version of Mardi Gras.
Be free.
We've been in lockdown for so long, we want to do something festive and happy and creative for this Halloween.
And feel joy in just being who you are.
We are walking sculpture.
What started as a small neighborhood celebration back in 1973 has now grown into the largest Halloween parade in the world.
It allows you to feel a kind of freedom and joy and deep humanity that artists feel. And I love providing the opportunity to create a safe space for anyone who wants to come to do that.
You may want to settle a personal score, or simply release the rage that is burning inside of you. If you believe in the goals of the experiment but do not wish to participate, leave a sign of support outside your home. We suggest a bouquet of blue baptisia flowers, a symbol of rebirth. News media and government surveillance will operate with a heavy presence throughout the experiment. If you are concerned about revealing your identity, we suggest you wear a disguise or a mask. However you choose to purge, you are a true patriot. God bless you and all who purge. And God bless the United States of America, a nation reborn.
Just as they involve surrender, initiation rituals may also involve sacrifice. Both the tangible that can be held in a hand and the intangible, such as behaviors, may be given up by requirement.
We force us to change our routines, lifestyles and habits, and many will be desperate for life to go back.
After all, for something to be given, something must also be taken.
Step aside, ladies. I'm bringing the peace. I am so staying up past my bedtime.
German potato salad! I'm on a highway to hell! On the highway to hell!
First, we take Manhattan. Then we take Berlin. I'm guided by a signal in the heavens. I'm guided by the birthmark on my skin. I'm guided by the beauty of our weapons. First, we take Manhattan. Then we take Berlin.
A token of submission, an ounce of blood, a pound of clay to be remolded.
Society will undergo a radical transformation.
Whether dramatically overt or deceitfully subtle, the ritual reinterprets. A new definition given. Training in the form of new behaviors and knowledge, including myths and codes.
Our world is filled with codes, pacts, user agreements, subliminal messages.
Necessary for new members to function properly in the society they are being inducted into, are all imbued at this time.
Who is this? A poor candidate in a state of darkness. Comes of his own free will. Perfectly prepared. humbly soliciting to be admitted to the mysteries and privileges.
In all cases of danger and distress, in whom do you put your trust?
In God.
How did he find out about the unfortunate merchant?
Well, he has that kind of cleverness you'll sometimes find in the middle classes. A cheap sort of intelligence, but effective, nevertheless.
Thank God that's not something you're burdened by.
Yes, thank God.
Recite the solemn oath.
Never to reveal our secrets, under no less a penalty than my throat be cut across, my tongue be torn out by its root, and that I be buried in sand, a cable's length from shore.
You don't think Gull is confiding him to you? The old fellow isn't as far gone as all that, is he?
No. He's not that foolish.
Let the brother receive the light.
Listen to me. Never, ever take off your blindfold. One of you is going to have to look. Do you understand? If you look, you will die.
What if we see something? I'll do it.
No. I'm the one who will say who looks, okay? I say it.
A whole bunch of people sitting together, but they all feel incredibly lonely.
Loneliness is just incidental. It's really about people's inability to connect.
Something is wrong with Molly.
Life is more than just what is, it's what could be, what you could make it.
It's a strawberry.
You need to love them, knowing that you may lose them at any second.
But do not make a sound and do not leave this boat. Do you understand me? Do not leave this boat.
It's different with the baby.
They deserve dreams, they deserve love, they deserve hope, they deserve a mother.
It's an immediate love affair.
They deserve a mother.
It's not gonna be that way for me.
Yes, it will.
Oh, man. Have you thought about names yet?
You haven't given them names now.
You might want to think of another name besides the two beings as your child.
No, not yet.
Their names are boy and girl.
Doctor, that if you just don't acknowledge a thing, it simply goes away.
Every single decision I have made has been for them. Every single one.
Just take the children! Take the children! They're just children! Please let my children in! Please! Open the door!
Repetition is typical, as its use helps hammer the spell home.
A new normal. We have to accept a new normal.
The wearing of masks may be required. Masking has traditionally played an important role in rituals of this kind.
Meantime, New York City has joined Los Angeles advising residents to cover their faces. Well, we've already seen a big jump in the number of people wearing masks.
Well, they've announced that anybody who is flying on the plane is going to be having to wear a mask.
Idiots. You can call us that. But if being an idiot can lead to greatness, then that's a sacrifice worth making. This isn't about fame, glory, or medals. It's about doing something incredible for no reason at all. Because to become a true champion takes more than just blood, sweat, and tears. It takes courage, grit, and determination. There is greatness inside all of us. So isn't it time you set yours free? And show the world how amazing an idiot can be.
Okay, go.
I'm here to join the people bringing attention to Lou Gehrig's disease by taking the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. I'm going to challenge 3 more people. Elon Musk, Ryan Seacrest, and Chris Anderson of TED. Consider yourself challenged. You have 24 hours. Good luck.
Can I help you?
I got a hypothetical question for you.
Okay.
What are the chances that the IRS would demand a refund on a tax refund?
Hypothetically?
Hypothetically.
Well, that hardly ever happens.
Really?
Yes, almost never.
Almost.
Very rarely.
How rare?
It's unlikely. I mean, it could take years if they ever even caught the mistake, but they probably wouldn't.
How probable is that probably?
Did you cash the refund check?
Hypothetically?
Yes.
Oh.
Good.
But my hypothetical wife did.
Oh.
Oh, wait, what's oh? What?
Well, if you got a larger than normal refund, it's possible you aren't aware of some benefit. Although the IRS takes a lot of money by accident, we usually don't give money away by accident. You'll probably be okay. Hypothetically.
Probably?
Possibly. Maybe. I hope.
Thanks.
My father wasn't the only one stressed out because of that refund.
What are you doing?
Trying to clean this mess off the wall.
I can see that, but why? You didn't do it.
I know, but nobody seems to believe me. I guess I should listen to you about Albert.
I guess you should have.
Sorry.
So am I.
It's better to hang out with friends that get you out of trouble, not into it. If only Tupac had known that. While I was worrying about my problem, my father had problems of his own.
Julius, something wrong with your food?
No, I'm just not hungry.
For my father to waste food, that could only mean one thing. Hell must have frozen over.
It's cold.
That was sick.
Right behind me, about half the folks in line at this market basket right now are wearing masks. Today there was a mandate that went into effect across the entire country to wear a mask.
Enabling and hastening the suppression of ego to help facilitate a death of the old identity before the identification with and manifestation of a new one. Disguised under a mask and hidden away, the initiate is more easily able to transcend the self, pushed further toward that invisible line between the physical and spiritual realms.
The fear that we have, the anxiety that we have, that's not just going to go away.
Trauma is another aspect of this kind of initiation, and most especially to personalize the fear of death.
People are dying, and nearly 6,000 Americans have died.
Sometimes the act of dying is even ceremonially role-played. The dark beyond the darkness. The yawning abyss.
I thought I was going to die, and I've never been faced with death before.
Only after death is confronted can the initiate be symbolically resurrected, reborn anew.
My name was the Rising Phoenix, because the Phoenix can live and die and burn and live again.
Extraordinary tension around this stadium.
Take your mark.
Ouais, on a vécu quelque chose qui nous a pas permis de pouvoir réussir.
This is how I am. Merry Christmas.
If you're thinking every day, why me? You will never go anywhere.
When I saw how sport is accepted, it was logical to start a sports movement.
We wanted to change the way people saw people with a disability.
There isn't anything else in the world that can bring you back from the darkest places than sport.
I think the moment I sat in that racing chair, I just knew it was for me.
My coach said to me, I see talent in you.
I was never going to do anything other than 100 meters.
When you're hitting someone head on, it's like a small car crash.
Everybody knows you need money to run the games.
They said that the Paralympics is going to be cancelled because there was no money.
If these games don't happen, we're done.
We're gonna fight this. Paralympics is something almost magical.
Being a part of something bigger than just yourself was incredible.
Yes, lives are being changed on the track, but lives are also being changed in the stands.
La vie est un combat. On essaie de sauver maintenant le monde.
We are part of a much bigger picture.
While the process that is playing out is quite coordinated and sophisticated in reality, it may be executed in a purposefully confusing manner.
Thanks for joining us. I know we're surrounded by uncertainty. It feels like everything is changing.
So that the goalposts seem to keep moving back and forth, up and down, here now there, rendering the initiate unable to find solid mental ground from which to make logical sense of anything.
We're trying to figure out how to do this every week because everything changes constantly.
This disorientation is key. The uncertain timing generates a general anxiety, further removing the initiate from reality and leaving him or her more susceptible to a type of Pavlovian conditioning. This weakens the defenses just as a virus would, only this has the potential to break down the individual much more completely than a virus would.
I know we're surrounded by uncertainty.
Whatever the finer details, the previous way of life is shed like an old skin. At the end that comes before the beginning, the change begins.
Are you angry?
Damn straight. People around here have been making fun of us our whole lives. We keep to ourselves, but they just won't leave us alone.
Are you ever inclined to hurt someone?
What do you think, Doc?
The island was chosen because its demographic is a perfect
spatiale américaine, mais aussi car les ponts peuvent être bloqués, maintenant ainsi que la peine.
There are numerous drug and street gangs on Staten Island. Many are wondering if they'll participate. Many citizens are leaving. For those staying, the financial reward seems to be the incentive.
Despite the weather conditions, the protesters are out. They have their signs and their fists are raised. They are against the purge experiment that is happening.
This is wrong! Walk away from their money! Do not hurt! Do not participate! Do not hurt! Do not participate!
So we are here with Arlo Sabian. He is the Chief of Staff for the NFFA. He got this whole thing pushed through Congress. Well, you got protests all over the place now.
Please, the idea of the purge was analyzed for years. We allowed island citizens to vote on participation. They voted yes.
Yeah, and you know why? Because a lot of those people felt coerced by the fact they don't have money and you're offering money. So what do you say to the lower income people who are out here risking their lives tonight?
Well, then, as with any scientific trial, those who participate receive payment.
Listen, we need to have a talk about Vanderhoff. The fact is, he's the sponsor. And you signed a contract guaranteeing him certain concessions, one of them being a spot on the show.
Well, that's where I see things just a little differently. Contract or no, I will not bow to any sponsor.
I'm sorry you feel that way, but basically it's the nature of the beast.
Maybe I'm wrong on this one, but for me, the beast doesn't include selling out.
Garth, you know what I'm talking about, right?
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
Yeah, I'm going to turn to you, Dr. Updale. You are the behavioral scientist who actually came up with this whole experiment. A lot of people have a lot of concerns about this, and one concern comes up over and over again. I want the truth from you. Is the purge a political device?
I do not work for the NFFA. I did not conceive of the experiment for them. The NFFA had the courage to test it, but the conceit is not a political one. It is a psychological one. The benefit of acting violently without worry of consequence, that's a freeing violence.
A freeing violence. Okay, that's a new one on me. I have a question for you. What is your definition of success?
Well, the level of participation in certain areas is key. The Park Hill Towers, for example, are the center of this community. If there's considerable participation there, I think that'll be a strong indication that this night is a great success.
Well, we'll see.
I can't talk about it anymore. It's giving me a headache.
Here, take 2 of these.
Ah, new print. Little, yellow, different.
Look, you can stay here in the big leagues and play by the rules, or you can go back to the farm club in Aurora. It's your choice.
Yes, and it's the choice of a new generation.
This is the second phase, the transition.
It's liminal time or liminal space. The word liminal literally means threshold, that we're on a threshold of a new time, a new way of doing things in our society. That there's going to be some transformation.
As the old self symbolically dies and passes away, the initiate descends into a state of liminality, a sort of fever dream purgatory nowhere land, the void in the middle. Thus the old self dies as the initiate is purified. Now a white room, a blank canvas washed and primed and desperate for paint.
This is kind of dark. Did the kids just say we're doomed? What the heck are we watching?
Their brains are turning to mush. Months of hypnotic research embedded in the most user-friendly photo app ever made. Ooh. No.
Come in, B-Day is happening now. It's all in the phones. Armstrong is using an app to brainwash the parents.
Get out!
We have to stop the show.
Hand in hand, we speak a language no one else can understand. Hear those cheers, strike up a band. You know that divided will fall, so together we stand.
Insist on decorating a spider-infested fire hazard in my home. I would request that you add this.
What is it?
You're kidding, right? It's a bust of Sir Isaac Newton.
Oh, sure. Very Christmassy.
Wait, excuse me, but it's much more Christmassy than anything you've put on the tree.
Here we go.
December 25th, 1642 Julian calendar. Sir Isaac Newton is born. Jesus, on the other hand, was actually born in the summer. His birthday was moved to coincide with a traditional pagan holiday that celebrated the winter solstice with lit fires and slaughtered goats. Which frankly sounds like more fun than 12 hours of church with my mother, followed by a fruitcake.
Hey, Sheldon, are you and Leonard putting up a Christmas tree?
No, because we don't celebrate the ancient pagan festival of Saturnalia.
Saturnalia?
Gather round, kids. It's time for Sheldon's beloved Christmas special.
In the pre-Christian era, as the winter solstice approached and the plants died, pagans brought evergreen boughs into their homes as an act of sympathetic magic intended to guard the life essences of the plants until spring. This custom was later appropriated by Northern Europeans, and eventually it becomes the so-called Christmas tree.
Oh, Tabitha. Gramps? Nana? Mom? Oh, no!
Oh my gosh, Tabitha, you did such a great job. Well, that's just horribly rude of you all. Come on, everybody. How about a standing ovation? There, good.
They're zombies! We did it!
The baby revolution has begun. No more need for costumes. Who wants cake?
Oh my gosh!
Happy B-Day, everybody.
Daddy, Uncle Ted, come in. Where are you?
At the same time, his old existence and way of life dies. The initiate transcending it is gradually being processed, reprogrammed, and incorporated into his or her new environment.
Because this is going to be transformative. It is going to be transformative on a personal basis, on social basis, on a systems basis, we're never going to be the same again.
Reformed, reconstituted, and rebirthed into the new world that awaits at the end of the tunnel.
As a society, beyond just this immediate situation, we should start looking forward to understand how this experience is going to change us, or how it should change us.
Those long lines streaming into polling places around the country look like something you'd expect on the first Tuesday in November. But these images were captured on Mondays and Wednesdays and weekends in October, even September. They are portraits of an election that cannot be confined by a day or week or month.
I would walk through glass and hot charcoal in bare feet to make this election.
This year, many simply could not wait for Election Day, though they could wait in line.
We are willing to wait any length of time, yes.
After months trapped in your home, what's a few hours standing among fellow voters?
We'll wait in 30-degree weather for an hour and a half if we have to.
In return for that wait, some were rewarded with free entertainment. A few even got treats hand-delivered by celebrities like Paul Rudd and Mariska Hargitay.
Who says voting's not fun?
And everyone was given that precious sticker worn as a badge of honor. In Rochester, New York, those stickers adorned the grave of Susan B. Anthony, who was arrested for casting her ballot back in 1872.
People like Susan B. Anthony fought for our rights to do this, so don't throw that right away.
This is the final phase of the ritual, integration.
And everyone wants to know, is this the new reality? Too early to say that we're looking at something closer to a reformation. We're waking up to the new normal. When do we get back to normal? I don't think we get back to normal. This is an extraordinary time where we have to accept a new normal. Society will undergo a radical transformation. And if you're feeling alone, just remember, we are alone together.
Over these past few weeks, we've repeatedly asked, why?
I think that voting is important.
Why vote early?
Because this is the most important vote of my life.
Why wait in long lines?
Because there was a time when black people couldn't vote. They fought to give me the right to vote, so that's why I'm voting.
Speaking with voters, we heard a constant theme.
I just wanted to make sure it was counted.
And I just wanted to make sure my vote get cast.
In a year when so much seems beyond our control, voters could mask up and line up, or mail in their ballots. The pandemic couldn't even keep away poll workers, a role often filled by people over the age of 60, a high-risk COVID group.
I don't want my grandparents out there working the polls.
So in their place, thousands and thousands of young people stepped up. Many of those youngsters are also voting for the first time.
If I'm not showing my effort, then I can't complain.
Well, in Detroit, great-great-grandmother Talou Massey cast her absentee ballot at the age of 103. Definitely not her first time.
I can remember voting for Roosevelt in 1940. I've done my voting in September, absentee ballot.
8 decades later, it's a civic duty that remains as important as ever.
It's your responsibility to cut the grass, to keep your neighborhood clean. It's your responsibility as a citizen to get out here and vote.
And as a new normal descends, it can feel so solitary, and yet we're all alone together.
It's why in America our votes don't seem like fading stars hidden in a far-off galaxy. Each one feels as vital as the sun.
My vote matters, and I'm here to make my voice be known.
Voices resounding loudly not just on this one day, but throughout this entire election season. For Today, Joe Fryer, NBC News.
Former WWE wrestler and Mississippi native Kamala has died after a brief battle with COVID-19. The wrestler was born as James Harris and also known as the Ugandan Giant. Harris was born in Senatobia and spent time in Coldwater, launching his career in the 1970s, going through the South before becoming a WWE and WCW superstar. We spoke to former wrestler and promoter Lolly Dude, who described what Kamala was like and how good of a person he was.
He came from nothing. He had a hard life. He got in trouble, but he found wrestling. And he turned his life around. He loved children. He'd run out to the ring and scare them all. But when he'd go out back, he'd hug them. He'd smile at them. And he was just a fine human being. He's the true American dream.
And Harris died at the age of 70.
I think it's very important, as you have heard from so many incredible leaders, for us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present, and to be able to contextualize it, to understand where we exist in the history and in the moment as it relates not only to the past but the future.
Questions about the president's age often go hand in hand with questions about how you would step into the role, if necessary. Do you feel prepared for that possibility? And as serving as vice president prepared you for that job?
Yes.
And how would you describe that process?
Which process?
Like as far as being ready for that.
Well, first of all, I'm answering your hypothetical, but Joe Biden's going to be fine, so that is not going to come to fruition. But let us also understand that every vice president understands that when they take the oath, that they must be very clear about the responsibility they may have to take over the job of being president. I am no different.
Woo! Oh, be quiet. Why are you guys so anti-dictators? Imagine if America was a dictatorship. You could let 1% of the people have all the nation's wealth. You could help your rich friends get richer by cutting their taxes and bailing them out when they gamble and lose. You could ignore the needs of the poor for healthcare and education. Your media would appear free, but would secretly be controlled by one person and his family. You could wiretap phones. You could torture foreign prisoners. You could have rigged elections. You could lie about why you go to war. You could fill your prisons with one particular racial group, and no one would complain. You could use the media to scare the people into supporting policies that are against their interests. I know this is hard for you Americans to imagine, but please try.
I'm going to vote blue.
Vote for who you want. This is a free dictatorship.
What is the profession?
Yeah, which profession are we talking about?
Just look at it. Is it a legal profession? Of course it's legal. It's only my profession. I'm trying to read it. Okay.
It's too many diamonds.
Yeah, that's too bright.
That's too bright.
Go ahead anyway.
Oh, Mason, are you a Mason?
Of course I am.
Okay. That's a secret ceremony.
Well, you might as well put your pinky out when you drink your drink.
If we turn against each other based on divisions of race or religion,
Come on, try getting it out.
Ding, 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 bong.
That's all, folks.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
keep the dream alive. Now it makes me sad, it makes me